It'll cost you more than that. I was the sole developer building an app for a client. My manager, let's call him John, had no clue how app development worked. His questions often left me wondering if he'd ever even seen a computer. He didn't have our backs. He was only focused on pleasing the sales team and his superiors. I was extremely stressed, trying to meet impossible deadlines with no resources. One day, I was interrupted mid-work for a surprise meeting with all the other developers. We were laid off, effective immediately. I felt a mix of panic and relief. Panic because I was now unemployed with little savings, but relief because I didn't have to deal with John anymore. I grabbed a box and scrawled Xbox on it, starting to pack up. John stopped by and asked if I'd be interested in working on a contract basis to finish the app. I hadn't even left the building yet, and he was already asking if I wanted to be paid for the job I'd just been laid off from. Confused and still in shock, I told him to get lost. Well, not in those exact words. I think I said yes. John said he'd talk to upper management and call me back. I went home and dusted off my resume, diving into job hunting and scheduling interviews. A week later, John called with an offer that was reasonable for a contract to complete the app. It felt like a lifeline. But to my surprise, I found myself saying, I can't do it for that amount. I'd need more. John sounded stunned. He needed this app delivered, and I was the only one who understood its state. He nervously asked how much I'd need. To my horror, I blurted out, double. I'd need double that. Silence hung in the air. I could almost hear him go pale. What? Double? Okay, I'll ask, but they're not going to go for that. Okay, let me know what they say. After hanging up, I was filled with dread. What had I just done? Did I really just turn down a rescue boat? A few days later, I landed an interview that went incredibly well. It felt like a good culture fit, and they hinted at making me an offer. I was finally starting to breathe again. Then the phone rang. It was John, sounding happy. I can't believe this, but management has agreed to pay you double the rate we initially offered. Can you give me an estimate on how long you'll need to finish it? Sorry, John, I can't do it. I've got something else lined up. This was about 25 years ago, and everyone I cared about at the company was long gone. I later learned their stock fell below a threshold and got delisted within a year. I found a new job and stayed for over a decade, meeting some of the best people I've ever known. A week or two after I told John I couldn't do it, a friend called to say he'd been hired on a contract basis to complete the app. He needed help getting oriented, and even though I wanted John and the company to face the consequences of their decision, I couldn't let my friend struggle. I explained the key parts of the app and assured him I'd be there if he had questions.